Hi, I'm August Keller, and this is my review of Dune Part 2. To me, Dune 2 is everything that a movie should be. I said it's pure cinema because it combines grand scale, intimate drama, and themes. It has actual intellectual weight. And I think all of those things come naturally. That's a lot. That's a lot to pull off. And this is my cat. It all works together well, too. Internal and external conflicts, they intertwine. They actually are often one and the same. And that really makes for a compelling watch. Characters are motivated. They're purposeful. They all serve some kind of relevance to advancing that plot, emotion, or themes, usually more than one. And they grow, they're evolving, they're dynamic, and the relationships are dynamic. There are themes of equality, control, power, rebirth, nature, like humanity's relationship to nature, free will, of course, politics and religion, and how all these things interact. It examines the horrors of war, and the importance of culture. Can an outsider truly understand and lead a group of people and really genuinely have their best interests in mind? The ending is bittersweet, which, is a personal favorite of mine, but also I think oftentimes is the most substantial, and it really just kind of brings everything together. It brings the drama, the emotions, it brings the plot, and it brings the themes all together, and it actually ends up subverting, the savior messiah trope. It really calls that trope into question. The acting, I think, is great. It's physical. There's a lot of chemistry. There's, of course, like I said, a lot of growth. They're evolving, and it feels natural. There's layers. I mean, like I said, it's an internal struggle, and you can see how there are these battling motivations in the character, and it's all there. It's all cohesive and consistent, and it's vulnerable. There's range, and there's real intensity. They kind of go places. I don't want to give too much away, but when they change, some of them really go to some intense places where you're kind of questioning how sane they are even anymore. That's taxing on an actor. Yeah, it's a real symbiotic union of intimate and epic. And that's just the story and the motion part of it. From a technical standpoint, I think it's also just pretty much as good as it gets. There are set pieces, there's scale, there's tension, it's immersive. The cinematography is very pretty and also kind of, I don't know if I should say experimental, but there are some sequences that are in black and white that are in the reality of the movie. So I guess I don't know if diegetic is the right word for it, but they're black and white with reason, not just like a style and not just meaning. I mean, it is stylish and there is a meaning to it, but it also is justified in their reality of the movie. There's a lot of texture. There's beautiful lighting, a lot of different kinds of lighting, a lot of color. There's focus, composition, and composition to me is like kind of the most important part. It's when you can look at an image and it conveys meaning just on the image alone. Sometimes a character is in a certain shot, there's a certain space in the shot, and it's conveying how they feel or how they're affecting the plot or how the meaning they're conveying for the themes. The editing has a lot of rhythm to it. I think it really does a good balance of feeling epic, but also feeling fairly, I don't want to say lean because it is a pretty big watch. It's got a long runtime, but it feels pretty breezy. The pacing and momentum is always there, and I don't think it ever drags, which is a big feat for a movie this large. And there's a lot of like intellectual montages where it's showing a lot of different imagery that isn't necessarily just advancing the plot, but again, is advancing the emotions or conveying the meaning of the story. There are a lot of really important inserts, and by inserts, they'll just flash a shot of, what the character's seeing in their mind or feeling in their heart. Of course, there's some action, and that takes editing. The sound, I think, may be the strongest suit of this movie. It's hard to pick. It's definitely in the running. It's got a lot of split cuts where it's introducing the sound before or after the imagery of the next shot. There are a lot of echoes. I mean, the voice is pretty stylish. It's got distortions and a lot of sci-fi, of course, sci-fi elements like the machinery or the weaponry or the alien nature of the reality. They have to create that stuff and make it feel realistic, but also foreign to us. The music, I think some people might feel less impressed with this music because we kind of heard a lot of it already in the original, but I still think it's a defining quality of this movie series, and I think will be remembered. Again, quite like the sound, it feels like it's coming from something real, but is strange to us. It's alien, but grounded. It feels like it has a culture behind it. And there are, of course, motifs, different characters, different feelings, different symbols are accompanied with certain musical melodies. The production design, of course, I think is just the greatest example of how to do sci-fi, where it feels, I think a lot of sci-fi out there just feels like, just slap this generic stuff on there and it looks sci-fi. But this really feels like it's coming from a reality. It's very detailed and tangible and has different cultures and worlds conveyed. The cast is deep and talented and famous and up and coming and fitting. This is kind of career defining for at least a few of them, and I think a few of them are A-listers either because of this movie or it definitely solidified them. And of course the effects are great. I think this is CGI done right. It never feels distracting or strange. It feels very tangible. It's because it's built off of practical foundations. So yeah, I think Dune 2 is a good cross section of art and entertainment. It's got drama, it's got thought, and it's got adventure. It really has everything. And frankly, I think it's my favorite movie of the 2020s so far. And I think it's going to be tough to dethrone. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed listening. I hope you found it informative. Please feel free to discuss in the comments. And please like and subscribe and all that other stuff. And I also have an Instagram that's linked in the description. I have a lot more reviews there. I also do polls and trivia and other fun things there. So please check that out as well if you have the time. But at the very least, thank you for watching. Okay, bye.